What is up, guys? Welcome back. Long time no see. Been a little under the weather. Still sound like shit, but I feel a lot better. So we're gonna do a little flight. Someone on YouTube asked about RNAV and ILS landings. So today we're gonna do one of those, and I'll walk through the procedures once we get there and put it into the FMC and stuff like that. It's pretty easy and not a big deal. So I'll go ahead and get this thing started up. Parking brake. Now I can take the chocks off. Battery power, avionics on so we can get the radios. And go start our NAVs. I think there's only a CTAF frequency here. Alright, so yeah, UNCOM 122.8.
Midland traffic, Foxtrot, Charlie Hotel, Lima, crossing over the field to join for the left downwind, 434, number 3. Midland traffic, this is Foxtrot India, Alpha Bravo is overhead of the field, to join the mid downwind, 434. Midland traffic, Zulu J, Foxtrot, turning final 34, full stop.
Startup. Beacon can come on. Props full fine. Double check that the lights are on outside. Yep.
The traffic, Foxtrot, Charlie Hotel, Lima is now established left downwind for 34.
Auto feather arm. Start
Ignition
number 2.
I believe I'm number 4.
Can hear it firing, and we'll start. 14% on the turbine, and we'll bring it to low idle. And watch the ITT looking hot. Or hung starts. I don't know if any of that stuff is modeled. I have not had a hot or hung start. I'm not sure if the damage is a thing here.
Traffic, Foxtrot, Charlie Hotel, Lima, turning final for 34, full stop. Full D, Foxtrot, clear 34, Midland. Midland traffic, this is India Alpha Bravo, turning
That one's
final
good.
434.
Inverter can come on, gen's on, and reset. We got lights.
Traffic, Romeo, New York, Delta, joining mid-left downwind. Number 2 or 3, I'm not sure. That would be number 3. Midland traffic, there's 2 airplanes in mid-downwind, just a few hundred feet apart. Roger, the one inside, I'm extending my downwind again, clear.
There we go, 2 engines started. Get the inverter on, gen on, reset.
Car 2 miles on the upwind side. We're going to come over the field and join a mid-left downwind for 3-4. Inland traffic, Foxtrot rolling on November Delta is on short final, 3-4.
Bring that back to low idle. EFIS can come on. Pitch trim.
Over
Boost.
midfield at Circuit Height, we're going to join mid-left hand downwind for 3-4.
And prop torque appears to be a thing, so I've found that when you're in level flight with the autopilot on, the plane has a tendency to roll a bit. So if you give it a little bit of right rudder to correct, just to the right of the centered position on here, usually keeps the turn coordinator right in the center. Oops.
Inland traffic, rolling on November Delta is clearly active.
Hey there, McFaddy, how you doing? Getting ready for work, I'm assuming?
Inland traffic, Golf Echo Charlie Mike, we're at 206 Sunset, just northeast of the airport, 2,000 feet. We'll fly over midfield, join the left downwind to 34.
Kilo Charlie Uniform Bravo Airport information Delta 0753 Zulu weather wind calm visibility 10 sky clear temperature 18 dew point 17 altimeter 3011 advise on initial contact you have information Delta
5 a.m.
Kilo
Quiet house. What are you doing? Ready to check in the flight sim sub.
Inland traffic, Whiskey Rolling Oscar, turning final 3-4. Whiskey Rolling Oscar is going to go around, he just pulled over, ran a Cherokee coming in from the right.
I get enough of that work because I have so much downtime in the afternoons. I spend an inordinate amount of time on Reddit. What is the wind doing here? Calm.
No, Charlie Mike, we're just overhead the airport, 2,000 feet. We'll join the left downwind 34. Are you the amphibian? That's affirmative. Hey, Whiskey Rolling Oscar, we'll follow you in. We're over midfield, we're going to join mid-left downwind behind you. You swing wide there.
Huge time waster. What is this? Oh yeah, I saw that too. That could have also been an R unexpected. Let's see. Charlie Alpha Echo. Major Kong, I have flown this plane a ton, and other than 2 times where I've had some issues with alt capture, it actually works perfectly fine for me. I would say that 97% of the time, other than alt capture and a camera issue, I've had no issues with it, so to speak. But we'll see. Everyone's lighting the engines on fire, that they're probably doing something wrong. I think maybe that has something to do with people not being used to turboprops, maybe. Don't know. We'll see. I say that now, but you know, it'll be the one time that it happens on stream. I don't feel like a jackass. Let's do the RNAV 08. Via
Midland traffic, the Gulf Charlie Mike Quebec is over the field at circuit altitude. I'll be joining mid-left downwind for 3-4 full stop.
Midland traffic, this is Charlie Golf Hotel Lima November, Grumman Cheetah, 7 miles to the south inbound for landing at 2.7.
Oh, that's the RNAV Yankee. I'm on Zulu.
Midland traffic, Golf Mike Tango is joining the left downwind for 3-4.
Via this bad boy. Here we go.
Midland traffic, Charlie Mike Quebec is clear of the active
That'll do,
runway
pig.
34. And Romeo Yankee X-ray is turning final 3-4, Midland, number 1, full stop.
So autopilot, we need to switch the source to FMS1. And I like nav data to be on ground speed. I can flip through between ground speed, time of arrival, and a wind. And we'll turn nav on. This is something that automatically arms or turns the autopilot on when you select this stuff on the ground, which it should not
Midland
do.
traffic, Hotel Lima November, active side about to join, cross midfield to join left downwind.
And we'll go to 25,000 feet. Nav is on, alt is armed, vertical speed is set. That'll do there. Down here, I guess everyone's on about the GTN 750, which is great, but this actually is really functional for me. You can turn on and off VORs, NDBs, waypoints, and airports. I usually leave the airports on. Switch heading up. The radar works. Everything seems to be in working order. Last thing. Set our cabin altitude. Get on up there today. Leads on auto, and to arm the oxygen, which I found the hard way. This little guy. Do it. Hey, Keeper, how you doing? Alright, I think we are good to go. How about transponder code today, boys? Anything will do.
Midland area traffic, Romeo Sierra Sierra, reporting 15 back to the southwest, level at 3,500. We're estimating the field in 7 minutes.
1587, here, you got it. There's no 8 though, so we'll go 07. Make sure it's on. Good. Four hours of sleep, then went to cast your boat. Well, at least you did your civic duty. That's something. Get it in beta range for taxi.
Midland traffic, Hotel Lima November, turning final for 3-4.
I like that this little cord down here is attached and actually moves with the yoke. Nice. Enjoy while it lasts. There's Melon Citation. Looks like it has a green bottom to you. See ya.
Hotel Lima November on final for 3-4.
Yeah, sorry, this is the King Air that everyone's got been raving about.
Overshoot. 3-4. Hotel Lima November, overshooting overhead the field. Watch out for me.
Cardinal, you see that?
Look at that beauty.
Midland Unicom, Quebec Echo Kilo, 4 miles north, looking inbound. Looking for an advisory?
The wind is 280, 5 knots.
Thank you. What is your active, please?
Favoring 3-4.
Thank you. We'll call and establish the downwind for left-hand 3-4.
It is, yeah. This is one of my favorite free sceneries. And it's also one of the cool things about general aviation in the real life as well, is being able to visit small little airports like this versus only flying into major international airports, which gets kind of boring after a while because they all look the same, right? This is Jim, what is it, Hamilton B. Owens in K-Cub. Kilo Charlie Uniform Bravo. It's free by Mr. X. It's awesome. It's totally worth it. In fact, I'll pause down here to hold short and I'll do a little tour real quick because I think it's really cool.
Area traffic, Romeo, Sierra, Sierra, coming up overhead the field now, level at 3,000. We'll cross over from west to east, turn around and come back and join a mid-left-hand downwind landing, 3-4 Midland. Conflicts, Romeo, Sierra, Sierra.
Hold it. Let's have a look around here. And there's the railway. A bit of downtown Columbia's model as well. Gamecock Stadium. Like there's pretty detailed. It's cool. Go get it.
Hotel Lima November on final, coming in for 3-4.
Landing lights, recognition lights, strobes. And I think we're good to go. What am I forgetting? Flaps are set. We're trimmed. Oxygen's on. Nothing on the annunciators. That looks good enough for me. This is a good one. Get some smaller planes. Flying here at your leisure.
Traffic Bravo Sierra, this is turning final 1-4. Full stop.
Hey Finn, how you doing? Morning to you.
Traffic Bravo Sierra, this is down at GS 1-4.
So basically on takeoff, I don't know, people
Auto
were talking
feather
about
lights on.
having your engines on fire.
Airspeed alive.
Watching turbine and torque,
60 knots.
making sure that they're within range, but you know that when you take off and you pull the prop RPM back, your torque is going to increase because they're taking bigger chunks out of the air.
Rotate.
I don't know
V2.
where people are having problems
Positive,
precisely.
you're up.
Traffic, Echo Victor Sierra, turning left, downwind 1-4.
So watch, when I pull the prop RPM back here in a
Attitudes
second,
check.
you can see the torque,
Gear
which is the
indicates
top
up.
one. It says 94, it's going to come up a little bit.
Flaps up.
So there, it's about where we want for climb.
Flaps indicates up.
traffic, Foxtrot November, Sierra India, Cessna 140, lining up, threshold runway 14. We're going to be departure right hand, turn out for Charlie Field Road. Canada 191, turn left, heading 330. Left, 330, Canada 191.
Is the DA62 is just a regular piston-driven plane, though, isn't it? This is a turboprop. So you can actually leave the power pretty high for pretty much most of your flight range. I mean, once I get to the top of climb, I will pull the torque back to about 60%, but other than that, I can leave it where it's at as long as everything's in the operating range. Look at the ITT is well within the operating range of the airplane. They're pretty good. You just can't go full throttle on takeoff like you can with most piston-driven planes.
Canada 191, on the flight level.
I think I remember Mellon talking about that too, because he has the same one. It's the what the guys that did the DR4 too, the DR401, right? Why am I blanking on their name right now? Autopilot on.
007. Okay, Zulu, the 88, it's 3019er. Approach will be 15 left, descend to 8,000. Roger, got 8,000, we got Zulu 3019.
Aerobas, that's the one. Bring the power back a little bit, because I want to capture about 160 knots for IAS, and then I'll bring the power back forward. There you go, that'll do pig. IS is the best. You can basically set it and forget it. See ya. Mellon says good thing about the DA62, but I don't like the way that it looks. I think the tail looks silly.
371, send 4,000.
Needs to eat a hamburger or something.
7371. Check 156 at the Woodhill, contact tower 1187. Woodhill, that was your
I forgot to fasten seatbelts. Looking at on SkyVector right now, there are some moderate turbulence warnings on the way. I'm not sure what altitude to expect that at, though.
Takeoff, Echo Julie Delta Medevac, you can proceed direct MyTox, descend to 9,000. Nine touchdown to 9,000, Echo Julie Delta Medevac.
between flight level 300 and flight level 430, we're going to be below that.
Bird 6201, contact the approach 12447. 447. Okay.
Hey Kev, how you doing? The weather calmed down by where you're at?
Quebec 6201, Roger, speed 190 knots. What?
Yeah, I do. I can actually breathe out of both sides of my nose now, though it may not sound like it. I flew, yeah, on, was it Saturday or Sunday? I flew out of Koff Harbor, is that right?
Victor, fly heading 180.
One of the closest airports to Lord Howe Island, and it was just thunderstorms all up and down the coast.
15 left approach to my base. Bravo Hotel, speed 170 knots, and contact tower at Woodhill 118.
Weather was good once I got past that string of storms, but I was in the TBM 900, which is a pretty small plane, and it almost flipped over. It was the first time I'd seen the icing models and stuff on the windshield and wings and stuff too. It's pretty hairy. I think I posted a picture of the radar shot from it. It was just little cells of red everywhere that I was swerving between. It was good. I kind of wish I'd been streaming it. And of course, Lord Howe Island, worth the effort to get there. Do you have that little scenery that Dingo posted? It's a really cool little spot.
Canada 260, Clyde Islands 15 left approach. Cleared Islands 15 left approach here. Bravo, George 147 Georgia 7371, Roger, speed 190 knots. Mike Victor, hold speed 180 knots. 180 Mike Victor. Dia 061, descend 4,000. Descend 4,000, Dia 061. Got a 260.
So someone who follows me on YouTube has asked me to go through the procedures for an ILS and an RNAV. Depending on how long this is, I may do both. I'm doing an RNAV now, and if it's not too long, I may take off and then do the ILS as well. And I'll fly all the way down to minimums with the autopilot to show you how I'm doing it. So, Scott, if you're watching, this is for you, bud. Oh, Finn, no big deal. I'll be doing it anyway, wouldn't I?
Contact town 118.7. 118.7, 17 speed. Gauge 7371, sound left heading 240. 240 heading 0 to 1. Echo Juliet Delta Medevac, descend 6,000. Descend 6,000, Echo Juliet Delta Medevac. And a 7007, descend 6,000, make your speed now 200 knots, please. Okay, got it, 6,000, back to 200 knots, there, got it, 7007. Aqua 3423. Aqua 3423, go ahead. Take a dive 220. Aqua 3423, descend for 220.
We're over 20,000 feet, so I'm going to switch back to vertical speed and let them drop back down to about 150 to 145 knots.
3,000, no delay, so the 061. Bravo, good morning, Air Canada 447, 15,000 for 13,000 for Zulu.
The 447, good day, Zulu, it is 3019 Air. It's approach 15 left, descend to 8,000.
15 left, descend 8,000, Air Canada 447.
That'll work.
And just maintain your present heading as well, Echo Juliet Delta. Matter of fact, you're on vectors for approach 15 left.
Present heading, vectors for 15 left. Clear Delta, matter of fact.
No worries. Where are you flying, Kevin?
Juliet Delta, matter of fact, descend now to 5,000.
5,000, Clear Delta.
Is there any scenery for the wet Sundays? Were you saying that was the place that I should fly? Because one of those sailing YouTube channels that Dingo recommended, they were just traveling around there. It looks pretty cool. Ooh, in England. Finn's neck of the woods. Well, there was until Kevin got him.
Air Canada 877, heavy check in 410. Air Canada 877, heavy center, squawk code 6177. You can turn direct Moffett, the rest of the route is the same. Okay, we're squawking 6177, direct Moffett, and Cody, right, reports at 410 ahead. No, I've had a couple reports of some turbulence right in that vicinity. It doesn't last very long, and no one's changing levels, so there's nothing significant. All right, thank you.
Not sure how long these clouds are going to last, but I'm not going to turn the anti-ice on. Just watch the wings, see if we can see some ice build up here. I think this is cool too.
80432, your contact goose 119 or decimal 5.
It's one of those probably 45-degree cloud angles that X-Plane loves to throw at you.
Roger, the 603 is good morning, there is 360. That's 603, center line.
Beach 200 is the 350. Basically the same thing, just about 3 feet longer, I think.
Kennedy 23, we're going to descend to the 34.5 for 290. Kennedy 2.
They look functionally identical. Are we in a cloud? Like, what is going on here?
4003, less 779.
Lufthansa 462. Lufthansa 462, go ahead. Lufthansa 462, you are identified, turn right top, rest to route unchanged. 6 to the right top. Rest to route unchanged. 462, roger. And center Parental 411, leveling 16000. Parental 411, roger.
Wait, what happened, Kevin? You just flying the B200 on Saturday, were you? Oi, dingo. How you doing?
Center, Lindbergh 6260, level 330. Lindbergh 6260, good afternoon, or good morning, and shouldn't be anything worse than occasional light shot for you. Roger, thanks, Lindbergh 6260. Lindbergh 6260, go direct Miglo on course. Direct Miglo, Lindbergh 6260.
Fighting.
Center, hello, Canada 448 with you, 20.3, climb 230. Canada 448, good day, climb level 270, shouldn't be anything worse than occasional light job. Hey, dispatch mentioned that 250 and below is smooth, so requesting flight level 250 for Canada 448. Canada 448, we're cleared level 250.
Oh, you mean it's unavailable in FSE? Someone snagged it, maybe? This is one thing that I'm not a huge fan about with active sky. It feels like if you get within range of clouds, it obscures your visibility like this. Like I'm not in clouds, I'm not getting any icing or anything. It doesn't appear. I don't know what's going on here. There is 25,000.
Air Canada 611, flight level 320. Air Canada 611, flight level 320 center, good afternoon, Avis Pro. Okay, problem.
Where are you flying? I'm going to Jacksonville, Florida. Let me see, how can I, on Streamlabs, show you my little nav map? What setting do I click on there to pull that up? Real time there, I believe, is like 4:40 a.m. So I'm about 12 hours ahead of that.
Flare 210, contact center 134, decimal 9, good day.
349 for Flare, 10 so long.
No, this is, I'm flying at like 4 in the afternoon, but I guess it'd be morning mist, but I would expect that lower to the ground. I'm at 25,000 feet now. let's
Shark
see.
9852, contact me 133.72.
Shark 9852 is up on 13372.
Chinook 9852, roger, at your discretion, descend 6,000, cross move at 6,000. The cold lake altimeter 29er 78.
Discretion down to 6,000 for cross.
Trying to figure out how to show a little nav map. Display capture image browser source. Yeah, but again, I wouldn't expect morning mist at 25,000 feet.
Checking in with you at 200.
Jazz 383 in the morning.
And showing me in clouds at the moment, but it looks like it's going to end in just a second.
Center Chinook 9402 is in descent.
Chinook 9402, roger.
Center morning 031 second head 13,000.
King Air Golf Sierra with uniforms enter today, the cold lake altimeter 29er 77.
Yeah, but what did you select? Because right now I've got, I can't remember what the output is, like capture, window capture, I think. Let's see what this does. Add a new source. How about, there we go. Does that work? And where are we? Let's center this on our plane.
Center Chinook
We are going
field visual, you can't say IFR, maintaining Larry service.
down here somewhere.
Chinook 9402, roger, check
Jacksonville.
canceling IFR, surveillance service terminates with me, put on our frequencies, call me on the ground to close out, company traffic to follow, currently at 50 miles an hour.
Okay, we check go close to the underground, clear on route Chinook 9402.
Oh, how much? That seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it? $400 for an hour flight? Yeah, definitely. I would drop that in a heartbeat. I'll be right back. Yeah, Lilliput. There you go. Dingo got you sorted out. I resisted getting little nav map for a long time because I felt like, well, the in-game map does everything you need it to, but I get it. That's the sound of me eating crow. I'll pull it back up for a second. Hang on. So, let's see. We're going to Jacksonville. Pull up all the information you need. Runways, comms, so approach control 118.0, procedures, give the weather.
On course 3211, flight level 200.
On course 3211, enter good day.
Good stuff.
Indicated airspeed for me tonight.
Doing 270 right now. On
It's
course
yeah, it's super
211.
customizable, and the cool thing I think also is flying around. Particularly we've been flying around in Australia a lot, which I don't know a lot about, but you can zoom in and see towns and cities, and you can see waypoints and stuff, so you can edit your own FMC or flight plan on the fly using it. It's good.
Jazz 513, checking in flight level 220, we have Zulu.
Jazz 513, good day. See your indicated airspeed.
We're here at 245 for Jazz 513.
Delta 2247, 16.5, climbing flight level 210.
Delta 2247, enter good day. Climb flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, Delta 2247. Hello, Washington 204 with you in the climb on the 13.2, 200.
Washington 204, enter good day. Climb flight level 280.
280, Washington 204.
So I'm not a huge expert on the default FMC, but is there a way that you can get a VNAV profile? Probably not, I would imagine. So I know we gotta be at probably 3,000 feet by Zolov. And from, yeah, 25,000 feet, that means about 70 miles out, we need to start descending. There's 20 miles. I'll figure it out.
Sierra Whiskey Uniform, you cleared out of controlled airspace in the vicinity of Blackville Beach, 25 nautical mile minimum safe altitude, 4,400 feet.
Cleared out controlled airspace in the vicinity of Blackville Beach, 4,400, close down 0 on the ground.
Sierra Whiskey Uniform, roger, I checked the remarks, no radar observed traffic between you and the field, surveillance service terminus at this time, cleared on frequencies, good day.
Thanks, have a great day.
Or get the GTN. I don't mind figuring it out by myself. Don't know how to do that yet. I mean, as a general rule of thumb, it's pretty easy to figure out. What? At 1,500 FPM, that's 3 nautical miles per 1,000 feet. So we got 21,000 feet to go, so 7 miles.
0,000, the engine altimeter 29er, 79er.
2979 down to 1010 south, outskirts of Jazz 383.
Delta 2247, contact center, 134.9, good day.
349 Delta 2247, good day.
Westshed 204, contact center, 134.9, good day.
349, Westshed 204, take care.
Where's Melon when you need him? Has he been going to bed and waking up at a reasonable hour like a normal person now? I haven't seen him much.
Check backwards 02, Roger, close your flight plan, good day.
Thank you.
Encore 3211, when ready to send 10,000, image altimeter 2979er for spacing, best forward speed in the descent.
10,000 ready on 2979, we'll give you our best speed, descent on course 2211.
What is on a Mexican pizza? I don't know if he changes hours for work, but I know the last couple days he's been waking up early for conference calls and stuff, and he said he was going to bed earlier, but I don't know if that was because he had to wake up early, or if he's turning over a new leaf. Or yogurt. Yogurt do it too.
Hello, Encore 4066. HR for 210, just making the turn for Gabda.
Encore 4066, center, good day. You're recleared to the Firebag Airport by a present position, direct to Flexon, direct to Fort McMurray VOR, direct to Dabley, direct.
Okay, recleared to the Firebag Airport, 5 present position, direct. That's John, direct McMurray, direct Dabley, direct Encore 4066.
Roger.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. My favorite pizza is jalapeno and pepperonis. That is a classic right there. Alright, so our total, we got what? 41. So I'm saying 8 miles. 10 miles we'll start descending. So So at 30 nautical miles from Got B. It's good. Unfortunately, hard to find here. Koreans love spicy food, but man, you can't find jalapenos anywhere.
Cessna 182, Foxtrot Sierra India Hotel.
To go like these big grocery stores, you can find pickled jalapenos, but that's about it.
At 4,000 feet on a VFR flight from Lac Cliff to Cree Lake.
I always thought anchovies were disgusting, but I'd never tried one until I actually came to Korea. Now that actually sounds really good. If you haven't eaten anchovy, do yourself a favor.
Hotel Roger, okay, I checked the remarks. Currently you are below radar coverage. Are you staying at what altitude as you continue northbound?
Sierra Hotel, we're looking for 5,000 through.
Okay, Sierra Hotel Roger, I checked the remarks. I'll keep watching for you there. I'll let you know when I pick you up again. And I'll have flight following for you at that time. I currently have no IFR traffic in the south end for you to pass.
Sierra Hotel, roger that, thank you.
Yeah, I probably could too now.
Jazz 33, contacted arrival 120.5. Good day.
K20.5, good day to you as well, Jazz 33.
Yeah, pretty good ground speed too, 250 knots in this old boy.
And on course 4066, requesting nature airspeed 300.
On course 4066, Roger, that's approved.
Thank you.
Sorry, Kevin. What is an average age or life expectancy for a canary? I don't know. I know next to nothing about them. My cousins had a couple that used to dance when you played music, though. Alright, there we go. There's 30 miles. So, again, indicated airspeed. Pull the throttle back to capture about 1,500 feet, and then I'll engage the vertical speed, and then we can bring the throttles back forward.
On a 10, 10,000, Roger, just 513.
There is 1,500. Oops. Go to 3,000 feet.
Another aircraft calling center, show your steps on there. Say again, please.
Shuck 9852 is down in completion.
Shuck 952, Roger, we'll close out your flight plan. Good day.
Thank you, good day.
What was his name?
Marchet 431, reduce airspeed 250 knots indicated.
Sold at 250 West Air 43.
Tweets. Sorry, tweets. Jacksonville weather, wind calm, visibility 10, no clouds reported, temperature 19, dew point 18, precipitation unreported, and altimeter is 3004.
Direct Lexon on course.
Put that over here on the standby, so I remember. Do you guys remember before Google, before people had smartphones and just you had the entire base of human knowledge at your fingertips, there was like a text program called Cha-Cha that you could, I think it was 242, 242, you could ask a question to, and there was someone who was sitting at a computer who would type in the response and then text you back on your flip phone or whatever. That's what people used to do before the internet was ubiquitous.
On course 3211, contact arrival 120.5. Good day.
20.5 now, course 3211, good day.
Jazz 513, contact arrival 120.5. Good day.
20.5, Jazz 513, good day.
Well, if I was a bird, I probably would do that too. Wish I could do it as a human. It's great when dogs can sense your attachment to other animals and then treat them with deferment. I mean, obviously a dog could kill, obviously, a bird really easily, but they have to treat them really gently because they know that you're close to them. Jealous kind. .3 for approach. Let's see what the tower is. Tower 118.
Audio 061, contact arrival 12447.
12447, so you 061. Good morning, so the 061 heavy, descending 3000.
Saudi 061, roger at 3000, speed of 200 knots.
At 3000 feet, 200 knots, so the 061.
Sony 371, speed 170 knots to Woodhill, contact tower at the Mach 118.17.
170 to Woodhill, then over to the tower 18.7.
Juliet Delta Medevac, fly heading 240, descend to 4,000.
240, 4,000, the Juliet Delta Medevac.
Saudi 061, 10 left heading 240.
240, Saudi 061.
Juliet Delta Medevac, slow now to 170 knots.
170 knots, Juliet Delta Medevac.
Saudi 061, fly heading 210, speed of 190 knots.
210, speed to 190 knots, Saudi 061.
Air Canada 7007 on the 5300 for 4,000. Canada 7007, good day at 4,000, speed 190 knots, you flow, and 87 on final caution, wake 10 knots. Roger, leveling 4,000, speed 190. Air Canada 7007.
Can we get flowers? Because we're high on the coastline point.
Yes, descend to 3,000.
3,000,
Easy peasy.
Saudi 061, fly heading 180 to descend.
So you can see here, Scott, if you're watching, this is our RNAV. Here's our transition. I put it, there's two transitions, three I think you can choose from. I put this one on the north side because we're approaching from the northeast. So this is our initial approach fix. I think we'll do vectors from there to there. Final approach fix is IVF. What is that? IVTEF, that's the most important one, to make sure that you're at the intercept altitude at that point, which is going to be 1,900 feet. Everything above that is pretty loose, but as long as you're at 1,900 feet at your final approach fix, the RNAV will automatically pick it up. And then you just make sure that you have the approach armed and the glide slope will capture.
060. Return heading 060, Air Canada 7007.
So we're keeping our heading bug synced up. Pink numbers in the top right here is the heading bug, where the heading bug is pointed. So right now I synced it up to our current heading, so it's 243, 243, and you can see it swing around. On some planes, when you're doing an RNAV, you need to manually bring your altitude down to minimums or wherever you want to take over on autopilot, but you don't have to do that with this airplane. Once you get the glide slope armed, it'll automatically take over no matter what you've got here. So as soon as you're on the glide slope, you can put this to your missed approach altitude, which is 2,000.
Arrival is Charlie Golf Delta Charlie Charlie, 7,100 for 13,000. Where's your individual?
You'll see the airport out here somewhere. Hello?
Up to Charlie Charlie, thank you, that's all correct. And 3019er on the altimeter.
3019 Delta Charlie Charlie.
Canada 70707, thanks. You can fly heading now 120 to descend 3000, Clyde ILS 15 left approach.
Okay, 120 to intercept, down to 3,000, cleared straight in ILS 15 left here, Canada 707. Arrival, Sierra Canada 447, you still want us at 8,000?
Just another couple miles, I'll have you in the Meyer station.
What are you flying? Did you get a B200, Kevin? Also, Dingo, does the updated UMA livery for this airplane have the gray and black interiors, or is it the beige? Nice.
Delta Charlie Charlie, descend at 9,000.
9,000, Delta Charlie Charlie.
Default. Gotcha. I'm a big fan of the black paneling, though. I think it looks a little bit better.
Origin 735, reach clear direct to my tuck.
My tuck, 73,
Is that us? There she is. There's the airport. KJAX. I believe this is where Ither is from. Somewhere in Florida. But I know he flies in and out of Jacksonville quite a bit. Ither is the guy who made this livery. You can follow him on Twitch. I think he changed his name to Walker Air Trans, but he's trying to get it back. Guy's a legend. He's the one who made the GTN integration, if you've seen that on the forums or John Fly, for the 350. The dual GTN thing, he modded himself. He's not paying attention to cabin pressure. Yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah, to 7007, speed of 170 knots, so last
So get here, look at this.
6 there behind the heavy and contact tower at the Mach 118.7, good day.
Okay, 170 Woodhill.
I think the seats in the floor look better back here too.
Canada 447, descend to 3,000.
Descend 3,000, Air Canada 447.
I'm just gonna go, I'll skip the vectors and we'll go direct to Zola, which is our initial approach fix. So direct interchange, copy here, and then into the top, execute. There we go. Make life a little bit easier. So this will be the downwind. It sets us up for a wide base. Plenty of time to get stabilized.
The 447, call arrival on 12447.
447, Air Canada 447.
Good morning, on course 3461, 1000, descending 9,000.
The next one will be 2,000 feet.
Course 3461, Zulu it is,
We
3019.
keep alt armed for now.
Approach, what's your speed right now?
And then as soon as we hit the next waypoint here, that'll be 3,000 and 2,000 for the next one, and then the final approach fix will be 1,900, so it's pretty easy from here.
Speed 220 on course 3461. Charlie, what's your speed right now?
250, Delta Starboard 7.
Alright, don't slow any further for me for the time
So
being.
we're basically on the approach now, so switch it to tower. Let's see what ground frequency is. Ground control 121.
The winds are 2006, maintain visual separation from WestJet from Bravo, clear takeoff runway 23.
Visual separation, clear for takeoff 23 from Bravo, Nova Jet 16.
The waypoint, so we'll still alt arm. So alt select vertical speed between 500 feet. And start slowing down a bit.
That's 657, contact departure on 28.
28, Washington 657.
I like this kind of flying. In and out of clouds. There's 2,000, we are
Canada
at
107,
188.
maintain visual separation from the Challenger.
So I'll do
clear
flaps
takeoff runway
1.
23.
Clear takeoff 23, west of the Challenger site here, Canada 107.
And give it a little bit of power so we don't slow down too much.
Push at 305, line up runway 23.
Not runway 23, west
Final
of
approach
305.
fix is 1,900 feet. So we're going to hold altitude for the time being. And as soon as we make the next turn, there we go. Cell. Basically there already. So I'll just have the autopilot flying all the way down to minimums, basically. So you can see the next segment. That's our final one. So that's going to be the final approach fix right here. I've TEF 1,900 feet there, which we are at. Sync up our heading. Oh, we and slow. And we're 5 miles, so come up on the autopilot panel and arm the approach. You can see glide slope is armed.
Wind calm, clear takeoff, runway 23.
Clear takeoff 23, what's the 305?
And usually once we start the descent, get on the glide slope, I'll usually put the last bit of flaps out. In gear, about 7 miles from the airport, which we're coming up on.
Push at 1100, line
Get
up
those guys
23.
out. I don't know how realistic that is, but they come out so fast on this airplane.
107, call the
Also, now that they're out, you can get the landing lights on
Good job, have a nice day.
and taxis.
At 1100, maintain visual separation, wind calm, clear takeoff, runway 23.
Runway heading at 077. So glide slope is now green, so we're on the glide slope. You see it's trimming down for our glide path here. Usually about 500 feet a minute. The good thing about following, letting it go all the way down to minimums is that when you take off the autopilot, as long as you're on your approach speed, it's going to be trimmed for the descent profile. You don't have to trim it a bunch at the last minute. But normally, I guess I would be doing this by myself at this point. I'm looking for about 120. Get our props full fine. And we'll get the call out for minimums from our co-pilots.
1,000 feet to
Disengage.
minimums.
There you go. Missed approach altitude is 2,000 feet.
Okay, 165, line up runway
Quiet.
23, keep takeoff 320, safe for official departure, I'll get you going right away.
Okay, line up runway 23, we'll keep company safe for Canada 165.
I actually don't mind if I float this one because we got to go way down to the end of this runway where the signature FBO is. I think over here.
$500 feet to minimums.
At 1100, contact departure on 28.8.
Sure, 1100.
Doing this in like a 737 works exactly the same way basically. You just need to bring your altitude again all the way down to minimums, otherwise it won't descend. Feels
200
weird.
feet to minimums.
Feels weird still being on autopilot. I'm gonna get ready to take this off. Yaw, damper can come off already. And I'm gonna check
Canada
over here.
165.
100 feet to minimums.
maintain
Sorry.
visual separation, clear takeoff,
Can't
runway
do it.
23.
Okay, we have company in place and clear takeoff 23 on Canada 165.
Minimums.
Surge 1851 Heavy, line up 23, keep the Air Canada 321 in sight for visual departure, I'll have you going right away.
23, keep the 321 in sight,
100 feet.
Shed 706, call departure on 28.8.
That was 28 for Air Canada 706.
Props full.
Probably pull the power a little bit early there, that's okay. No butter today. I failed you all.
40 knots.
Wind calm, maintain visual separation, and clear takeoff runway 23.
Clear takeoff, visual separation.
Hey, Kevin, thanks.
Push at 248, caution, jet blast from the 67, take your time to line up runway 23, that'll be the light for turbulence. Alright, we'll take your time to line up 23, west jet 40.
Alright, let me get ground and see where we're going. Nice. Very good, minus 56. FPO ramp, go up Alpha to Golf.
Ground West Jet 520, we're on Hotel 6.
West Jet 520 ground, cross 15 right and left, taxi Bravo, Vulture Romeo.
This cross 15 right left, Bravo, Vulture Romeo, West Jet 520.
Air Canada 123, stand by on tower 187.
187, Air Canada 123. Good meet you. Ground from Air Canada 480.
Air Canada 40 ground.
Yeah, we got the clearance to go now, so we are starting engines, and I'll get back to you shortly when we're ready to check.
Canada 40, roger.
Ground, good morning, it's Air Canada 962, we're Alpha Lima, we information, Zulu.
24 right, status is Zulu, altimeter 2958, taxi Bravo Charlie.
Bravo and Charlie for 24 right, Air Canada 962.
Forgot to dump cabin pressure. There we go. Signature flight support. Go get some free coffee.
Jazz 946, contact tower 1835.
Run a tower, Jazz 946, yeah.
Jazz 901, continue Charlie, hold short Bravo.
Charlie Short Bravo, Jazz 901.
Air Canada 920 short Delta Tango with Canada 920 ground 24 right, data to Zulu, alternate 2958, taxi left on Charlie. Charlie, 24 right, Air Canada 920.
Boom, that was easy. Let's watch a replay.
Flaps indicates up.
C1
60
knots.
200 feet to minimums. $100 feet to minimums. Minimums. $100 feet. 50 feet. Pumps full. Pumps full.
Such a good looking airplane. Yeah, wasn't my best, wasn't my worst.
Pumps full. $100 feet.
It's got pretty beefy landing gear too. I watched some advertisement videos for this thing, and they're made for unpaved runways and stuff as well.
$40 knots.
Good enough to handle my landings. PC-24. I have not heard of this. I have to look it up. Oh, it's a jet, too. Nice. This is what UMA needs to handle melon landings. It does. Seeing any kind of jet, like private jet like that on a bunch of grass, dirt kicking up in the background. I wonder if there's some system that keeps debris from getting sucked up into the turbines. I mean, normally turboprops at least have the inertial separator, which is kind of a bypass for them, but I mean, there's nothing like that, I don't think, on jets. Actually, this plane doesn't have inertial separators either. I don't think any of the Beechcraft do. Alrighty, fellas, we'll leave it there. If anyone wants to play some Escape from Tarkov with me, holla at your boy. I guess I'll be back. Oh, maybe not tomorrow. I think I got stuff to do. Friday. We'll do something Friday. McFaddy, have a good day at work. Kevin, thanks for hanging out. Dingo as well. Good luck at work tonight. Finn, always a pleasure. You little beauty. Major Kong. See, we got there. The plane worked just as advertised. And low-lipped. Go get little Navmat, man. Yeah, I may do that. Actually, yeah, fuck it, I will stream it. I'll do a little bit. Alright, I'll be back in a minute with not airplanes. See ya.